Without Borders. Stories by the inescapably foreign.
We're able to travel during COVID. What is your most intense travel story during COVID?
Man, there's so many of them. The traveling during COVID was really flexibility for us. Jenny, my wife, we learned she was pregnant the day before we flew to Bangladesh. We wanted a kid. It was fun to have a kid. We didn't think it would take a day. She went up the pills, got pregnant the day after, which was completely crazy. So we're flying to Bangladesh. We're like, okay, we're gonna have to find local hospitals. We're gonna have to have the first few meetings with doctors in Bangladesh, which wasn't what we were looking for, to say the least. And then we did all this, and then we had to make a decision, like where we're gonna have the kid. And we were supposed to move to Bali. We made the decision that we would get the kid in Bali, Indonesia. We went through all the oops to get 2 working visas in the middle of COVID. We end up having a special, journalist exception to get those visas, which was great. We got the visas. That was amazing. But, and that's the big but, at the time there was a new variant of COVID, and 10 countries around the world, Bangladesh being one of them, got blocked, where you cannot travel directly to most countries in the world from there. You needed to go 2 weeks somewhere else, and then you could travel somewhere. So we struggled. We could not find a place where we could go. My wife having a South African, passport to start with, this is very limited in terms of which country she can go to without a visa. So I end up going to the Egyptian embassy in Dhaka to talk directly with the ambassador, begged him to find a solution for us. He gave my wife a visa in 1 day, 24 hours to go to Egypt. We ended up going to Egypt, which was amazing. The best trip of my life, honestly. We were the only tourists in the bloody country, and we were going to temples where there was literally no tourists there. We added them all for ourselves. That was completely amazing. I'm going to remember that trip to Abu Simbel where the guide there saw us arrive and was like, hey, you guys are the first tourists I've seen in 3 weeks. And we had the entire place for ourselves. That was completely insane. But that being said, we had all our flights booked from there to go to Bali. And the day before we flew in, they had something like crazy, like 250,000 cases a week at that point, and they blocked the borders. They completely closed the borders to Indonesia. So we went through 3 months of trying to get a work visa for both of us there to not being able to leave, and then our visa to Egypt was expiring a few days later. So we had to from there find a new location where we would have the kid, because she'd be too far along to be able to travel at that point. And we flew to South Africa and decided to have the kid there and just make it work.
That's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's what COVID was. If you like plans in life, right? Well, through doing what we did during COVID, you don't like plans anymore. You just roll with the punches. It's the way it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that expression. Well, if you're religious, man plans, God laughs. Remember, one of my friends changed it to man plans, universe